Good evening, I'm Shane Jones, leading the news at 7. No work is to be done on the Hyatt, not even preparatory work. And that's what Attorney at Law David Comashong went back to the court today to ensure. Last month, he filed a motion challenging the commencement of the multi-million-dollar project on the grounds that the required environmental impact assessment was not done. Mr. Comashong says since then, he's noticed some work going on at the beachfront site, and he wants it stopped.
What we are saying is, while we are waiting for the court to deal with the substantive matter and to make a determination, that the permission should be suspended so that work comes to a halt. And you know, that's a commonsensical thing, because if you are challenging the permission on the basis that an environmental impact assessment, for example, has not been done, and that there is the potential for damage to be done to the environment, then you would not wish work to be going on while the matter is being heard by the court.
Mr. Comashong says the matter was adjourned until April 19th. The lawyer is also responding to critics who suggest he's unnecessarily delaying a project that will significantly benefit the country. Now, his response is that Barbados must be careful not to destroy one of its main tourist attractions, its beaches.
In my opinion, we have already done tremendous damage to some of the best beaches of Barbados by permitting too much construction on our beaches. There are some countries in which, no hotel construction is permitted on the beachfront. There's a coastal highway and you build your hotel on the land side of the highway. So I'm saying that we have to be careful that we do not so damage our prized assets that we destroy this industry that earns us foreign exchange.
It's understood that Queen's Counsel Deputy Solicitor General Donna Brathwaite is representing the Town and Country Planning Department in this matter. Okay, women are being encouraged to pursue more subjects in the areas of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in their fight for gender equality. It's coming from President of the Seroptimist International Club of Barbados, Janelle Clark. She says the club remains dedicated to the upward mobility of women who, in many cases, continue to be disadvantaged because of their gender. As a result, she wants to see a vigorous re-education across Barbados.
At the tender age of 5 years old, gender stereotypes are already ingrained in our youth. We heard stories of phenomenal women in Nepal who are fighting against a patriarchal system for women's rights and setting up shelters for women and children despite numerous obstacles.
During the general meeting, U.S. Ambassador to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Linda Tagliatella, also called for more women to pursue STEM subjects. However, she wants more Caribbean governments to support the fight for gender equality.
Women are among the most educated members of Caribbean society and have proven that they have significant contributions to make in their chosen fields. However, they are not always supported by their regional governments at the levels needed to fight entrenched gender prejudice. As women attempt to break through the glass ceilings, their efforts must have the backing of the government actors who hold the power.
Another housing solution has come for a needy Barbadian, not from the Ministry of Housing, but through the Poverty Alleviation and Reduction Program of the Ministry of Social Care. We hear more from Kishmar Sinjust.
Little Jakia Innes White loves her new home so much that she prefers to stay once again with grandmother Marlene Bourne. Their home at Parishland Christchurch was completely rebuilt from its dilapidated state. It was transformed in under 6 weeks to this spanky new 3-bedroom home, and all it took was a budget of $74,000. Minister of the Environment Dr. Dennis Lowe presented Bourne's case to Minister of Social Care Steve Blackett. Minister Blackett says his ministry had to ensure that the Bourne family was comfortable.
I was happy to come to his assistance through the ministry's efforts and to bring relief to Miss Bourne. I did not see the house before it was rebuilt, but I understand it was in a deplorable condition, and I'm so happy this morning, Ms. Bourne, that we could have delivered this house to you so that you and your family could be much more comfortably accommodated. And I hope that with God's blessings that you continue to take care of your house. And we in the Ministry of Social Care very pleased that we could have come to your assistance and provided this housing solution for you.
Dr. Lowe, the MP for Christchurch East, says it was no easy wait for the Bourne family. The work undertaken through this program is nothing new. Hundreds of other homes were either rebuilt or repaired.
Not only is this about the 300th housing solution, we've also been able to put in place over 150 wells for constituents who would have had sewage challenges. About close to 400 street lights in this constituency that we've installed.
A beaming Miss Bourne was moved by the kind gesture.
Great. Tell me why you're so great. How was life before you got this new, spanking new home?
Looks like kind of rough.
Work is expected to commence soon on 8 other homes under the Poverty Alleviation and Reduction Program. Overall, 44 homes were repaired or totally rebuilt since the program started. Kishmar Senjis, CBC News.
Barbados and Japan will be celebrating 50 years of diplomatic relations this August. Rosemary Allen reports that there are plans to further strengthen this relationship through an initiative between the Japanese Embassy and the CBC.
The friendship between Barbados and Japan, according to Ambassador Teruhiko Shinada, started long before the establishment of formal diplomatic relations on August 29, 1967. In fact, Mr. Shinada says that this friendship started in strange circumstances during the Second World War when Japanese prisoners of war were stationed in Barbados.
Japanese people were treated in a very fair and proper manner. So that after the war, those who managed to return to Japan formed a society which is called kind of Barbados Society in Tokyo, and they had regularly meeting in Tokyo and exchange the memories and experiences in Barbados.
In an effort to further strengthen this friendship, the Japanese Embassy has reached out to the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation with programming that showcases Japanese cooking, history, and culture to the Barbadian population.
We have offered CBC a number of Japanese TV programs. Those are drama series and some movies, also animation, which are quite popular in the world, and I hope that those TV programs will contribute to the more understanding by people in Barbados about Japan, life in Japan and Japanese culture.
The ambassador also spoke of another area of collaboration between Barbados and Japan.
We are now preparing some grant aid in the field of disaster management. As you remember, there was a flood case last year in many parts of Barbados. And Japan is a country who quite often suffer from natural disaster like flood, typhoon, earthquake, tsunami. We have a lot of experience to overcome them. So that we are now preparing a technical cooperation and grant to Barbados, and I hope that it will be realized within this year.
Ambassador Shinada hopes that this exposure of Japanese culture to Barbadians, along with technical cooperation and assistance, will go a long way in further cementing a friendship between our two island nations that is more than 70 years in the making. Rosemary Allen, CBC News.
Okay, we'll take a short break here and come back with more news.
Time's tight? Bico's price is right. Bico's Double Delight French Vanilla 1 liter ice cream is now at the unbeatable price of $17 VAT inclusive. It's Barbados' best-selling ice cream at a best-selling price, $17 VAT inclusive. This offer available from participating outlets island-wide, Bico Mobilers and the Bico Direct Outlet on Harbor Road.
A lot of people think that fast bikes are cool, and the girls, sure, like the guys who ride them. But, like so many things about life, you gotta be careful. Having sex without a condom is like riding a bike without a helmet. It's just plain dumb. It's okay to have fun, as long as you're smart about it. My name is Daniel the Lion Fortress, and I'm different, and I'm making a difference.
Live up, love, protect, respect.
If an aeroplane crashed at the Grantley Adams International Airport, the systems there would be able to handle the response. That's the early assessment from a simulated crash at the Christchurch facility this morning. Lisa Broom has more.
Picture this, a flight inbound from St. Lucia with 16 people on board, 12 passengers and 4 crew members when, just outside of Bridgetown, the pilot reports smoke in the cockpit but still attempts a landing. And those images you just saw is how it ended.
The aircraft came in and it overshot the runway, and then it made a right turn. And the simulation showed that the aircraft crashed to the south of the airport.
At the same time, this was also happening.
Someone called the airport also and mentioned that there was some kind of explosive device also in the cargo area of the airport. And that more or less caused the cargo area to be evacuated at the same time that the persons were dealing with the crash.
Well, that was the situation at the airport this morning, as both the emergency services and the security mechanisms were tested as part of the biannual requirements set down by the International Civil Aviation Organization and the local body. And based on the response, Mr. Nelson was pleased with the airport's capabilities.
This morning it was good in that we had looked at a lot of the areas and things that would be involved. We had all the responding agencies available, and it was a learning session also for a lot of people, because this was the first time that some of these persons have been involved. We know the last time we had a lot of persons, and due to maybe attrition, people going home or what have you, we have a lot of new players, so it was a learning environment for a lot of the persons there this morning.
The Director of Civil Aviation says for the most part, the simulation accomplished what the organizers set out to do, but a full assessment of the exercise will be conducted and an official report compiled. Lisa Broom, CBC News.
Another call is being made for a national art gallery to be set up in Barbados. It comes from local artist Onika Small, who is also the curator of an ongoing exhibition on the upper floor of Massey Stores Supercenter in Warrens. Ms. Small thinks having a functioning national gallery will lead to a higher level of art appreciation in Barbados. She says it will also help to change the perception that art is only for a certain segment of the population.
That means school children can come through, everybody can come through. The same way they go to the Barbados Museum to learn about the history of Barbados and it becomes part of your curriculum. You go to a National Art Gallery, you learn about art, and you get a better appreciation of it. I would also say more art appreciation classes, so that for me, again, it happens at schools, everybody has to do art, but you should always have to learn about a Barbadian artist so that you know what's happening in your own community. I think that's very important. I think those are the main things that can be done. More advertising, more initiatives like this one where we're in an accessible place, that we've been given the space. I think that would also help, because it means that we have more opportunities to show as artists.
Gone are the days when you only visited the dentist for a toothache. More and more Barbadians are taking advantage of the additional services which many local dentists now offer. Sharika Griffith has more.
At the recently held Girlfriends Expo, a beauty spa promised patrons whiter teeth in just 15 minutes. But wait, Isn't teeth whitening something you go to the dentist for? Dr. Camille Hope, owner of the Smile Center, has over 25 years in the dental field. She says teeth whitening was accidentally discovered when dentists trying to treat gum disease noticed that the chemical used lightened the teeth. Now there are several ways to get a 1,000-watt smile.
You can whiten them the natural way, and a natural way could be using something as simple as baking soda. Then you have the more elective ways where you can get over-the-counter teeth whitening product. You can get your teeth whitened by going to the dentist, who will do it in the chair. When you leave, your teeth are whiter by a couple of shades. Or you can combine. You can go to the dentist, they can do it, and then they can also give you a take-home kit.
When done by a dentist, it can cost up to $1,000 per treatment, and chances are you'll need more than one visit. Understandably, some people will seek a cheaper option. Dr. Hope says she has no problem with this as long as you're aware of the risk involved.
Being honest, it's taken off in other parts of the world, and because teeth whitening is mainly cosmetic, just like doing your hair, dyeing your hair. I mean, there's no law that says you have to go to a hairdresser to get your hair dyed. And if you don't do it properly, you're going to have problems with your hair. It's the same with teeth whitening. If it's not done properly, you're going to have problems. You know, you can have sensitive teeth, sensitive gums, and in some unfortunate cases, that sensitivity may not even go away.
It's also important to note that not all teeth can be whitened.
You got to be aware of what's causing your teeth to be the color they are in the first place. Is it really genetic? Or is it that you may have an abscess? Or is it that you may have had trauma to your tooth a couple of years down the road and the tooth is now reacting? I mean, it could be, the truth of the matter is your teeth could be a certain color because of underlying situation.
So a quick trip to the dentist is recommended before you attempt to achieve a whiter, brighter smile. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
I was waiting to see the smile. Well, after the break, we'll take a look at stories making headlines across our region.